Jain Day student of class 8 students, today we will continue the fourth chapter that previously we have covered half part of this, and today from third section we have to start. Okay, so without making delay, let's get started. After lunchtime, Bipin Babu realized that he could not possibly carry on sitting at his desk and working. This had never happened in 25 years he had been with the firm. He had a reputation for a tireless, conscientious worker, but today his head was in a whirl. Back home at 2:30, Bipin Babu lay down in bed and tried to gather his wits together. He knew that it was possible to lose one's memory through an injury in the head, but he did not know a single instance of someone remembering everything except one particular incident, and fairly recent, a significant one at that. He had always wanted to go to Ranchi, so to have gone there, done things, and not to remember was something utterly impossible. Here the hard words are given at the right side of the page. Now, meaning of carry on is continue, conscientious means careful and correct, and head was in whirl means that was confused and not able to think clearly. After lunch break, Bipin Babu had the realization that he just could not continue sitting on the desk and work like nothing had happened. This was something so unusual that he had not faced anything like it. Anything like it in his 25 years of association with the company. He was known for his hard work and diligence. Unlike ways, he was unable to think clearly today. And as he reached home by 2:30 in the afternoon, Bipin Babu lay down in his bed and made an attempt to become calm, to be able to think clearly. He was well aware about the possibility of losing one's memory because of an injury in head, but he had never heard a case where one does not remember just one particular incident. It was more difficult for him to believe it because the incident he had forgotten was quite recent and actually significant. As it had been mentioned earlier, he had always wanted to go to Ranchi and to do stuff. It makes it all the more difficult for him to believe that he could forget about something he had wanted to do for a long time. At 7:30, Bipin Babu's servant came and announced, Chuni Babu sir, says it very important. Bipin Babu knew Chuni had come for Chunilal had been at school with him. He had been having a rough time lately and been coming to see about a job. Bipin Babu knew it was not possible to do anything for him and in fact told him so. But Chuni kept turning up like a bad penny. Here it was about 7:30 in the evening when Bipin Babu's house help came to announce that Chuni Babu had come to see him, and he says it is regarding something important, but Bipin Babu was well aware of what he had come for. They both went to school together and Chunilal had been going through a rough time, so he had come to ask for help related to a job. Bipin Babu had already told him that it was difficult for him to help Chunilal with a job, but Chunilal did not stop turning up at his house. He has been compared to a bad penny to indicate that he is not very welcomed by Bipin Babu. Bipin Babu sent word that not only was it was impossible, not possible for him to see Chuni now, but now for several weeks. But as soon as the servant stopped out of the room, it struck Bipin Babu that Chuni might remember something about the 58 trip. There was no harm in asking him. Now Bipin Babu hurried down the stairs into the living room. Chuni was about to leave, but seeing Bipin Babu appear, he turned round hopefully. Bipin Babu did not beat about the bus. Listen, Chuni, I want to ask you something. You have a good memory and you have been seeing me off and for a long time. Just throw your mind back and tell me, did I go to Ranchi in 58? Chuni said, 58? It must have been 58 or it was 59. So, here you can say what the writer is suggesting here. In the light of the current situation, Bipin Babu sent a message for Chunilal that it would not be possible to meet him now for a weeks. For the matter, as the servant left the room to convey the message to Chunilal, Bipin Babu was hit with an idea. He thought there was no harm in asking Chuni about the Ranchi trip of 58. Bipin Babu rushed in the living room through the stairs and Chuni was just about to leave. But on seeing Bipin Babu, he turned back in a ray of some hope. Instead of going round and round, Bipin Babu came straight to the point and asked Chuni in case he knew if Bipin Babu went to Ranchi in 58. Bipin Babu told him that Chuni must remember because he had a good memory and had been seeing Bipin Babu every now and then. Chuni was not sure if it was 58 or 59. Okay, so you are sure that I did go to Ranchi. Chuni's look of amazement was not unmixed with worry. You mean you have doubts about having gone at all? Did I go? Do you remember clearly? Chuni sat down on the sofa, fixed Bipin Babu with a long hard stare and said, Bipin, have you taken a drugs or something? As far I know, you have a clean record where such things were concerned. I know that old friendship does not mean much to you, but at least you had a good memory. You can't really mean that you have forgotten about the Ranchi trip. Here, but Bipin Babu reconfirms with Chunilal if he is sure that Bipin Babu went to Ranchi at all. This left Chunilal shocked and worried. He asked Bipin Babu if he was having doubts about having taken the trip Ranchi at all. Bipin Babu asked him again if Chuni remembers about his trip to Ranchi clearly. On hearing this, Chunilal sat on the sofa and stared at Bipin Babu for a long time. He asked Bipin Babu if he had restored the drugs or something of the sort. Chunilal mentioned how Bipin Babu had a good memory and had a clear record of the events of his life in his mind. He further adds that he is well aware of disconnected Bipin Babu is when it comes to old friendship, but he could not believe that he had forgotten about such a significant event like his trip to Ranchi. Now, Bipin Babu had to turn away from Chuni's incredulous stare. Do you remember what my last job was? Asked Chunilal. You remember that you don't remember that it was I who fixed up your railway booking for Ranchi. I went to the station to see you off. One of the fans in your compartment was not working. I got electrician to fix it up. Have you forgotten everything? Whatever is the matter with you, you don't look too well, you know. Bipin Babu sighed and shook his head. Chunilal was staring at Bipin Babu since so long that Bipin Babu had to look away. Chuni continued to ask Bipin Babu if he remembers what Chuni's previous job was. Bipin Babu remembered and told him that it was in a travel agency. Chuni pointed out that he remembers what his last job was. But how could he forget it was Chunilal who booked his railway tickets to Ranchi? He further adds that he even went to the station to see him off. He even remembered minutes detail like one of the fan in Bipin Babu's compartment was not working properly and how electrician was appointed. He points out that Bipin Babu does not look in the best of his health and shape too. So emitting with a sigh, Bipin Babu shook his head in agreement. That means he agreed that he is not well. I have been working too hard, he said at last. That must be the reason. Must see about consulting a specialist. Doubtless it was Bipin's condition which made Chunilal leave without mentioning anything about a job. Paresh Chanda was a young physician with a pair of bright eyes, a sharp nose. He became thoughtful when he heard about Bipin Babu's symptoms. Look, Dr. Chanda, said Bipin Babu desperately, you must cure me of this horrible illness. I can't tell you how it is affecting my work. At last, Bipin Babu accepted that he had been working too much and that could be taking its toll on his memory. They agreed that he needed to a specialist for his condition. Chunilal left without even mentioning about a job and reason for which was Bipin Babu's condition undoubtedly. Bipin Babu finally visited to a physician, Paresh Chanda. The young doctor had bright eyes and a sharp nose. He got into thinking upon hearing Bipin Babu's symptoms. Bipin Babu told the doctor of how badly, desperately he wanted to get rid of this illness. He termed his situation horrible. He further added that the ways he might be affecting his work had started bothering him. Now, Dr. Chanda shook his head. You know what, Mr. Chaudhary, he said, I have never had to deal with a case such as yours. Frankly, this is quite outside my field of experience. But I have one suggestion. I don't know if it will work, but it's worth a try. I can do no harm. Bipin Babu leaned forward anxiously. As far I can make out, said Dr. Chanda, and I think you are the same opinion. You must have been to Ranchi, but due to some unknown reasons the entire episode has slipped out of your mind. What I suggested is that you to go to Ranchi once again. The sight of the place may remind you of your trip. This is not impossible. More than that I cannot do at the moment. I am prescribing a nerve tonic and a tranquilizer. Sleep is essential or the symptoms will get more pronounced. Bipin Babu felt somewhat better the next morning. After breakfast, he rang up his office, gave some instructions and procured first class ticket of Ranchi for the same evening. Dr. Chanda shook his head upon hearing Bipin Babu and began to reveal how the case like Bipin Babu's is something he had never come across in his career. He stayed honest and tells Bipin Babu that this is also outside his area of expertise, but he tells him that he has a suggestion to offer that might work. He calls it worth a try and adds that there are no negative consequences of doing it too. Bipin Babu was anxious as he leaned towards the doctor in order to understand what he was prescribing clearly. The doctor continues to explain to Bipin Babu that he thinks Bipin Babu must have been to Ranchi, but due to some unidentified reasons, the entire episode has slipped out of his mind. The doctor advised Bipin Babu is thinking too. The doctor suggests him to visit Ranchi once again. He further adds that the possibility of it is not negligible and that this is the most he can do at the moment. He further prescribes him a nerve tonic and medicine to reduce stress and an anxiety that would help him sleep better. Inadequately, sleep would only worsen the symptoms. As Bipin Babu woke up next morning, he felt better. After having breakfast, he called his office to give some instructions and then arranged a first class ticket for Ranchi on the same evening. Now in this last part of this, getting off the train at Ranchi next morning, he realized at once that he had never been there before. He came out of the station, took a taxi, drove around the town. For a while he realized that the streets, the buildings, the hotels, the bazaars, the Murabadi hills, with none of these has he sighted acquaintances. Would a trip the Hudru Falls help? He did not believe so, but at the same time he did not wish to leave with the feelings that he had tried enough. So he arranged for a car and left for Hudru in the afternoon. That means after taking suggestion from doctors, he reached Ranchi next morning, and As soon as he deboarded the train, he was sure that he had never visited. He took a taxi and came out of railway station and roamed around the different places of the town. But he had never seen the houses, buildings, hotels, markets, Muradabadi hills, and that's why he decided that he will approach towards Hudru Falls. Maybe that will help him. At 5 o'clock the same afternoon in Hudru, two Gujaratis gentlemen from a group of picnickers discovered Bipin Babu lying unconscious beside a boulder. When he came round, the first thing Bipin Babu said was, "I am finished. There is no hope left." Next morning, Bipin Babu was back in Calcutta. He realized that there was truly no hope for him. Soon he would lose everything. His will to work, his confidence, his ability, his balance of mind. Was he going to end up in the asylum at? Bipin Babu could not think anymore. Back home, he rang up Dr. Chanda and asked him to come over. Then, after shower, he got into bed with an ice bag and clamps on his head. Just then, the servant brought him a letter which someone had left in letter box, a greenish envelope with the same name in red ink on it. So here it was around 5 o'clock at the same afternoon when two Gujarati men who had come with a group of picnickers found Bipin Babu lying unconscious. That means he was unconscious beside a large rock. When he regained his consciousness, the first word he said was, "I am finished. There is no hope left." Now Bipin Babu realized that there was no hope left for a situation like this, so he came back to Calcutta next morning. He began to worry about how he might lose everything: his interest in work, his interest in confidence, abilities, and peace of mind. He even wondered that he could end up in an asylum if the situation worsened. He has exhausted his ability to think anymore by that time. As he was now at home, Dr. Chanda and requested him to visit him his place. He took a shower and got into bed with an ice bag on his head. It was only then that his servant brought him a letter that he had found in the letter box. The envelope was green in color with his name written on it in red ink. Above the name it is said, "Urgent and confidential." It is in spite of his condition, Bipin Babu had feeling that he ought to go through the letter. He tore open the envelope and took out the letter. This is what he read. Now here you can see in italic letter what is written. When Dr. Chanda came, Bipin Babu said, "I am fine. It all came back as soon as I got off the train at Ranchi." "A unique case," said Dr. Chanda. "I shall certainly write about it in a medical journal." "The reason why I sent you," said Bipin Babu, "is that I have a pain in the hip from a fall I had in Ranchi. If you could prescribe a painkiller." Written by Satyajit Ray. So now, my dear students, the envelope read "urgent and confidential" above his name. Regardless of how he felt at that moment, Bipin Babu could anticipate that he should read this letter. Thus, he tore open the envelope and took the letter. So, what was the written there? The letter began with a situation to Bipin. The writer of the letter had further shown disappointment at how wealth had changed Bipin Babu. He says that it was unexpected. In this letter, Chunilal asked him if it had become so difficult for him to help his childhood friend. He further adds he has scarcity of resources as he had no money and all he had was imagination, which he used to take revenge for Bipin Babu's behavior towards his misery. He reveals that Bipin would be fine now. He also tells him that a novel that Chunilal had written being considered by a publisher, he will have enough money for the next few months if the publisher likes it and approves of it. When Dr. Chanda came to see him, Bipin Babu revealed that he has got his memory of the Ranchi trip 58 back. It all came running back as if he got the train. Dr. Chanda remarks as a unique case and reforms that he will add this in his medical journal. Bipin Babu tells that doctors that he called him to prescribe him a painkiller for the pain he has in his hip from the fall he had in Ranchi. So now, my dear students, the lesson has been finished, and it was a very humorous lesson for you, and I think you have received all the related points from this lesson. And my dear students, after finishing of this lesson, we have covered unit 4, that is Bipin Chaudhary's Lapse of Memory, and another poem that we have previously covered. So my dear students, unit 4 has been covered. You will go through the video links and revise the videos again and again. Further, after receiving these videos, after having a glance of those videos, if you are getting any kind of issues, if you are not able to understand, then here you are free to ask, my dear students, whatever the problem you are facing, right? So my dear students, we will meet in the next video session with chapter 5. Up to the time, thank you, have a nice day, Jai Hind.